Hey everybody, it's me, Greg, the Free American Spirit. Today I want to talk to you about the Charbroil True Grill, Infrared Grill. And if you look at that puppy, okay, this is about a year old. So this isn't going to be one of those reviews where people first get it and say, hey, it's the best thing since sliced bread. So stay with me. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I sponsor myself, but you can help out by hitting that Amazon link. Buy anything you want to buy, I'll get a small little commission, won't cost you anything. Of course, hit that thumbs up button to like, and make a comment below. If you have a question, I'll answer it, or somebody else will answer it. And lastly, share this video on Facebook, YouTube, and all that other good place, Instagram, that you young people share videos at. So let's get into it. My first initial impressions of this grill were, I liked it, okay, but stay tuned towards the end because I'm going through everything, the good and the bad. And I'm not sponsored by anybody, so when I tell you the good and bad, it's exactly what I mean, the good and the bad. So here we go. First off, when you buy the grill, it's pretty heavy. It seems well built. Ignore that. That's a little bit of grease when I pulled some chicken off. It dripped down. I haven't cleaned that off. But anyways, pretty well built. It has a temperature gauge up here on the top, which is nice. It's got the regulator. This is the typical regulator. You'll put it in, twist it a little bit. You don't have to screw it or anything. And then the top, you turn it to pilot. You push it down, hit the igniter button, which is right back in here, which I'll show you in a minute. And it fires up. So the pros are, when I first got it, this thing heated right up. You look at this gauge, it goes up to 660. You know, you'll fire that thing up, it'll get up really hot. When you're done cooking, you'll put the grate on, you'll fire it up to 660. It'll bake everything off of that grate, or fry it off, or whatever you call it, infrared it off. It's so hot, it's like a self-cleaning oven. So all that worked pretty good. This is what the grate will look like in a while, okay? Now, when you heat up, all this stuff, you know, it turns into kind of like a dust and whatever. You scrape it all off, and then you spray it down when you're done, like you would with a cast iron pan, with a little bit of oil to season it so it doesn't rust. So it hasn't rusted, that's good. But of course, over time this just does build up and you really have to scrub it hard. But the way this thing works is, instead of having the ceramics down below for a burner, so if you look at this grate, you'll see all those holes in it. So you've got all these V-shaped channels with holes on the bottom. And theoretically, unlike a true infrared grill that will really heat up to like 1100 degrees or 1000 degrees, somewhere in that area, this traps the heat. It gets pretty hot. Now, I don't know how hot it gets. I mean, it gets hot. So you put a steak on there or a piece of chicken, it's going to sear it, and you'll have to turn over and sear it. And then basically go back over here and turn the heat down a little bit to continue cooking it. So when you're done, you're supposed to put that up real high, like I said. You know, close the lid, let it really bake up under extreme heat, like you would your self-cleaning oven, and that'll, you know, turn all that to dust. And then they give you this neat little tool, which I had right over here somewhere. And the little tool is like a scraper. Oh, here it is. The little tool's a scraper. Looks like this, and it works pretty good. Of course, it doesn't match up perfect in there, but it cleans all those little things off and opens up all those little holes, so it works okay. The first couple times, like I said, when I tried this grill, like everybody does in a review, it was the best thing since sliced bread, man. You put a steak on there, it sizzled up, it did whatever. Okay, I bought this grill 8 months ago, and I've cooked on total maybe 10 times. I think actually about once a month. We don't eat a whole lot of stuff out here. But anyways, first couple times worked great. It would get up to 650 degrees. Then after a couple more times, it would never get past 450. It didn't matter how I cleaned it and did whatever. Now down there inside, I'm not going to pull this whole thing apart and get dirty, but instead of having the ceramic grills like a normal infrared, this is a infrared that traps all the heat here in the griddle itself. There's just basically a deflector part that goes like this, and then underneath that is a typical, propane like bar kind of a thing where flames come out of both sides, and that's what happens. So what's supposed to happen is, this is so hot on a regular infrared grill, it would just, like, as it's dripping down, the grease would just evaporate, okay? If you did something stupid like putting marinating in barbecue sauce, that's a different story. But if you're just cooking steaks or chicken and there's nothing in there, the grease, theoretically, the juice just evaporates. This will do that for a while up top here, but it goes through and everything down there gets dirty and nasty. You can kind of see it in there a little bit. That's the vent. So I didn't like that. It's just not great. The second thing is, I don't know, when I was telling you, about, I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 months into it, at that, it wouldn't get up past 450. So I called up a couple times, Charbroil, and I said, hey, something's wrong. And I was thinking maybe this little regulator wasn't working so good or whatever, but I took everything out and cleaned it, and it'd still do it. And since then, I haven't been able to get above about 450. Another thing that I'd like to point out about this grill is way down here, this is a drip pan. I don't know why they got this huge drip pan, because theoretically, like I said, if you have infrared grills, you shouldn't have that much dripping down there. But there's this huge gap. And the problem I have is, with this huge gap, is if you get a little bit of wind blowing, you're done, man. It keeps blowing the grill out. So there again, I don't know if it's, the regulator is messing up, but I do know that every time that's happened, it blows out. And I'm here in Florida. I mean, I don't get windy here in Florida where I'm at, inland. But 5 or 6 mile an hour winds are pretty common. Like right now, you can't tell, it's about 6 mile an hour wind. And none of my other grills blow out. So that's really bad. I mean, that's a danger. Somebody's, going to have the lid closed, cooking something that's going to burn out. The only way you know is if the gauge is working. And then they're going to go up and hit that button and have issues. So just thought I'd point that out. The other problem I had was, after a while, this little striker right here, when you press this, it sends a mechanical, we'll do it in a minute if I can get a hold of it, but you'll hear it click. Hear that? Sends a little mechanical thing here. Well, right there, that's not sealed real good to the porcelain or whatever that insulation is. And I don't know, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the other day I was going to mess with it, and you can see on my arm it just burnt all those hairs off, because it had a couple seconds for the gas to build up. And that was like not good at all. So I just said, that's it, I'm done. I emailed Charbroil again, no answer. I called them, waited online 2 hours, no answer. Called them again, waited online 2 hours, no answer. Finally went to their Facebook page, made a comment, and like, hey man, do I got to do a social media campaign to get your attention? No answer. So what's the truth about this grill? In the beginning, it works, I guess, when it's new and it's all whatever. I've tried to clean this and follow the directions, and it's just not a great infrared grill. Okay, it's really not. It does get hot. It sears the first couple times. I know other people are telling you how great it is and whatever, but I'm telling you, either I got a lemon or it's just BS, okay? With that being said, I don't know about any other Charbroil grills. They can be the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just talking about this one model, okay? And the reason I'm really bringing this up is because it's just it's the poorest customer service I think I've ever had in a company. I mean, won't even return a call, won't return an email, won't respond to Facebook. So, this grill is an entry-level grill. I mean, it's a low-cost grill. That's a good part. I think they retail about $179 or $174 or something like that. And I've seen them on sale as low as $109, $110. But to be honest with you, the upkeep on this thing, because it doesn't do its job and doesn't heat up good enough, and all the way it drips down there, on the inside, unlike a real infrared grill, you get what you pay for, I guess, is all I can tell you. So one day maybe I'll get another Charbroil, a bigger one, a better one that they make, because people say they're great. But very, very, very disappointed in this model. And, you know, I really wish Charbroil would get a hold of me and, you know, I was asking them should I replace the regulator or the burner or something. You know, all I hear is crickets. So, in my opinion, don't buy one. It's a waste of your money. Look for another brand. And until the next guy's video, or video guys, thumbs up. Hit the like button. That's what the thumbs up is. Use the Amazon link to help me out, because I sponsor myself, and share the video. Adios, my friends.